Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is our second virtual town hall, and this episode will focus more on the Quarry Cottages at Highland Green. We'll also, goal is to give you a nice overview of the community and get a sense of life here at Highland Green. So we're lucky to have a number of staff people with us, joining us as panelists today. They're all experts in their subject matter areas. And we also have two residents who are going to be with us today and share their experiences about moving to Highland Green and living at Highland Green. So as we get started, I'd like to introduce the panelists. My name is John Leahy. I'm Director of Marketing Sales here at Highland Green. And
my name is Jacob Stevenson. I'm the sales associate here at Highland Green.
And I'm Sandra Halverson, the design coordinator here at Highland Green.
I'm Lori Cardwell-Panthil, and I'm the sales and marketing assistant here at Highland Green.
I'm Dan White from Hildreth & White, and I'm the builder.
Hi, I'm JP White, Assistant Project Manager with Hildreth & White.
Hi, I'm Lisa Durrell. I'm a resident at Highland Green and very active in CREA.
Hi, Dick Thomas and Ann Gardy. We've been here just over a year. We're residents of 3 Sugar Maple Drive.
excellent. Thank you, everyone, for participating. And we're going to just give a little overview about what we're going to discuss today. We're going to try to keep it to around an hour. And for those of you who may have seen the recording of the previous virtual town hall, we will be talking about some of the similar lifestyle components to Highland Green, but with a little more focus on the Quarry Cottages. So we're going to start with an overview about the campus, talk a little bit about the location, also the sponsor and developer. The lifestyle is really a central theme here at Highland Green. Overview of the community, talk a little bit about the integration with nature, which is a really important part of the whole development of Highland Green. Cooperative ownership, and also the lower maintenance living aspects of Highland Green. Then we're going to delve a little deeper into the Quarry Cottages, talk about floor plans, available sites, building specifications, give you a handle on the price and the cost of living, also the process of reserving your site and move-in time frame. We're going to have a chance to hear from Dan White and JP about the building process. Sandra Halverson, our design coordinator, is going to talk about how she really puts all the pieces of the puzzle together for our customers. And also, we're going to touch on the other home options at Highland Green, future plans, quick website tour, and then a little information about visiting Highland Green. So just to start, we're really blessed here at Highland Green with a wonderful campus, 650-acre piece of property. The parcel's beautiful. There's rolling terrain and granite outcroppings, elevation changes. What you see in the center of your screen there is the 35-acre heath, which is part of our 230-acre nature preserve, which is really the crown jewel of Highland Green. The preserve, as I said, is 230 acres. There's about 5 miles of hiking trails, and the nature preserve came to be through a compromise from the sponsor, owner of Highland Green, John Wasilewski, and Bowdoin professor and environmentalist John Rensenbrink. So there's articles and links to that story on our website. So if you're interested in learning more, I'd encourage you to check that out. Here's a trail map that shows the different trails at Highland Green and at the Nature Preserve. Lisa Durrell, who is the program coordinator for CREA, is going to talk a little bit more about the trails and also the programs that are available through the Cadence River Education Alliance. Some more general information about the campus and some of the amenities that we have here. We have a community center and fitness center. It includes a large kitchen area, meeting space, boardrooms, audio-visual equipment. Downstairs, there's a fitness center, yoga studio, locker rooms, access to the tennis courts, pickleball, which is happening right now outside my office. We also have bocce court, an outdoor heated lap pool, a 9-hole Scottish-style golf course, which is undergoing some renovations and will be open very shortly. We also have a restaurant that's called the Duck Pub and Restaurant, and that is also a central meeting place for residents. There's lots of special gatherings and get-togethers, so we're lucky to have that amenity right here on our campus. To date, we have 202 existing, all freestanding homes at Highland Green. A little bit about John Wasilewski, who is the owner of Highland Green. John has really been a leader in senior housing for the past 35 plus years. He founded Highland Green in 2000. Our first residents moved in 2002. And we also own and operate Ocean View at Falmouth, which is a full-service retirement community. And Cumberland Crossing is also owned by Seacoast Management, the parent company for Highland Green. Our location is very strategic to the Mid-Coast area. We're 30 minutes or so north of Portland, very close to a lot of the destinations people are seeking. Brunswick is about 10 minutes away. We're about 20 minutes to the beaches. We're very close to I-295. You have medical facilities literally across the entrance from Highland Green and hospitals in Brunswick as well as Portland. The grocery store is about 10 minutes away. So even though you have a lot of amenities here right at Highland Green, you're very close to downtown Brunswick and other shopping areas and amenities in the Brunswick Topsom area. And here you can see where we're really located, near a lot of the places where people like to visit. So one thing that's really key about Highland Green is it's a very close-knit community. The way it's designed, I think, facilitates neighborly get-togethers. We have residents here from 30 different states and counting who have made Highland Green their home. We have residents here that are still working. Some are partly retired. There is a very strong philanthropic and volunteerism spirit here at Highland Green. And it's just nice to see how much people support each other and enjoy each other's company here at Highland Green. So I'm going to talk briefly about a few of the residents just to give you an idea of some of the backgrounds and interests of different folks at Highland Green. This is Joe and Caroline from Oakland, Maine. Joe is an architect by training, and Caroline was born and raised in San Francisco. She moved to Peaks Island in Portland in 1978, and Caroline sings in Off Their Rockers, which is Highland Green's rock band. And you can see her here doing their thing with Off Their Rockers. They play at Highland Green. They also play at other venues around Brunswick and the area. Another residents we're lucky to have here is John and Jane Barry. John is a former CEO of Oakhurst Dairy and also serves on a number of committees, including the Reserve Analysis Committee. He's an accomplished birder and leads birding outings at Highland Green and has birded actually all over the world. Both John and Jane are very involved in local community and particular with Mid-Coast Hunger Prevention Program. This is Roger and Charlotte Hewson. She goes by Charlie, And they're an interesting couple. They founded Sabre Yachts in 1970. Roger was inducted in the American Sailboat Hall of Fame, and they moved from Cundy's Harbor in Harpswell. And Charlie is also in the Off the Rockers band, where she's known as Keyboard Charlie. This is Gail and Cy. They moved from Townsend, Mass. Cy is a retired engineer, and he teaches bridge at Highland Green and sings in a barbershop quartet. And Gail's a retired minister and was involved in the activities chair and part of the Highland Green Welcoming Committee. So our final profile here is JOANNE and Bob. Bob was an executive director and is a strongman competitor and triathlete. And JOANNE worked as a hospital internship manager and is a horse lover, and they both are Portuguese food enthusiasts. And here's a picture of Bob doing his thing at this Maine strongman competition in central Maine. So now we're going to hear from Dick and Ann a little bit about their experience at Highland Green.
Good morning. As I said earlier, we've been here just over a year, and already we feel very much at home and welcomed into the community. When we first came here to look around, we were sort of awestruck by the beauty of the place. The landscape is just gorgeous. The homes are very nicely tucked into the landscape in little neighborhoods. Everyone is unique with beautiful landscaping and rock work surrounding the homes. So that kind of sold us on the place right away. When we told our friends back in northern New Jersey that we were moving to Maine, the initial reaction was, "Are you out of your minds? Don't you know it's the middle of nowhere and the winters are terrible up there?" So hopefully when I finish, you'll be disabused of both of those comments. The day we moved in, we already had people stopping by to welcome us and drop off little gifts. Baking seems to be a big hobby up here, so there were lots of loaves of bread on our counter from day one. And the community is very active in welcoming new residents here and helping them get integrated into the community. Right off the bat, our little neighborhood had a cocktail welcome party for us. The activities group puts on yearly a new member or new resident welcome reception. There are activities through the year marking most of the major holidays, 4th of July barbecue, a fall get-together barbecue, Christmas gathering, New Year's Eve parties, Halloween gathering, and I could go on and on. And even in the early days of the shutdown, groups were gathering, bundled up in driveways, toasting St. Patrick's Day. And you'll find all sorts of activities that John has talked about. Some of them you can be as involved or uninvolved as you'd like to be. This part of Maine, most people, when they hear of Maine, they think of Portland and Bar Harbor. We're in the mid-coast, kind of in between both of those places. And there's just an enormous amount of things to do here. If you're into nature, and why would you come to Maine if you're not into nature? We're close to the coastline, 20 minutes away from some of the best kayaking and canoeing you'd find on the East Coast, I'm sure. There are hiking trails at the Nature Center and, of course, all around the region, walking trails. John mentioned our neighbor who's into birding. There's fantastic birding opportunities. We've had eagles nesting in the trees close by here. And the beaches, of course, are only 15 minutes away. We had a picnic down at Reed State Park last week. For a theater and music scene, if you're into the cultural aspects, there's sort of an amazing array of things to do in Portland. Theater, opera, world-class museums, but you don't have to go 40 minutes to Portland to see any of that. There's a tremendous amount of theater just in the area. There's a local theater company in Brunswick called the Theater Project. The Public Theater in Lewiston, about 35 minutes away, puts on fantastic plays. Mid-Coast Symphony, semi-professional group, performs right here in Topsom several times a year. Bowdoin has an international summer music festival. It's an educational program for students from around the world, and concerts all day long, keep you busy. The Maine State Music Theater on the Bowdoin campus in the summertime puts on Broadway-style musicals of the highest quality. There are year-round concerts at Bowdoin, and the summer dance program at Bates College is certainly worth looking at. For a lot of retirees, they want to continue their learning, and there are great opportunities for that. The Mid-Coast Senior College is put on by the Community College of Central Maine, Mid-Coast Maine, and offers courses throughout the fall, winter, and spring, offered mainly by retirees that have moved to the region, many of them retired professors with expertise in all sorts of interesting subjects. You can, through the Friends of Bowdoin College, you can audit courses at Bowdoin College if you really want to up your game. And of course, there are lectures on an ongoing basis at Bowdoin with nationally known speakers coming in to speak. And right here at Highland Green, we have a monthly green bag lunch program where we hear lectures from interesting folks both within and outside of the community. If you're a gardener, and we have lots of gardeners up here, first of all, it's, you don't have to worry about maintaining a lawn, but you do have many opportunities to garden around your home. And this time of year and the early spring, lots of activity. The community sponsors a native plant sale put on by the Maine Audubon Society. And it's really interesting and beautiful to see what people have done with their lawns, or with their gardens. The Maine University Maine Extension Center offers a program called the Maine Master Gardeners, which a number of residents have taken advantage of to learn about native plants and the garden and wildlife scene in the Mid-Coast Maine area. And finally, about 40 minutes away is a nationally recognized botanical garden, the Mid-Coast Maine Botanic Garden, which offers obviously beautiful gardens and woods to explore, but also lots of courses and lectures which you can attend. Many museums, of course, in Portland, well known for its art museum and contemporary art museum. But right here, close to home, is the Bowdoin Art Museum and the Bates College Art Museum. Up the road in Bath is the Maine Maritime Museum, where a number of our residents volunteer as docents during the summer season. And up a little bit further in Rockland is the Farnsworth Art Museum, which has one of the best Wyeth collections in the country, and a Museum of Modern Art, which is a growing, vibrant organization. The food scene. Portland is well known nationally as a foodie capital, but right here locally, there's a tremendous range of dining opportunities, from ranging all the way from a picnic table at a lobster shack down in Harpswell to fine dining here in Brunswick. When I say fine dining, that's kind of a relative term because things up here are pretty casual. But you can choose from Thai, Indian, Italian, New New American, seafood, Asian, Japanese, fusion, and I could go on and on. So endless opportunities if you like that. And of course, lots of people here like to cook. So one of the opportunities that's afforded to get to know people in the community 3 or 4 times a year is a dinner group where you get randomly assigned to someone's home and have dinner with 3 or 4 other couples, which is a great way to meet people. John mentioned the medical care in the area. We've been very happy so far. Thankfully, we haven't had to take advantage of it in any serious way, but those who have been very impressed. So that's an important thing when you start to reach our stage of life. So we're definitely not in the middle of nowhere. We miss our friends in North Jersey, but we don't miss the congestion and the hassle. We've found everything we love to do up here. And again, what about the winters? Well, it's not that much different up here than it was in North Jersey. Admittedly, we've only been here for 1 winter, but we're down by the coast, so both winters and summers are moderated by the ocean. The biggest change we've noticed is that in the dead of winter, the days are a little bit shorter than we were used to. But you get that back in the summer with really lovely long days. And when it does snow, you have great opportunities to get out on the golf course, which becomes a paradise for snowshoeing and cross-country skiing. So life has changed a little bit, obviously, during the pandemic. Social activities continue in pop-up gatherings around the community all the time. And just a short walk turns into a long walk when you run into neighbors and spend some time chatting. In summary, I think it's one of the best decisions we've made, and I think I can speak for almost everybody else we've met that they've come here and they've been very, very happy. Okay.
Terrific. Thank you very much, Dick and Ann. That was very helpful and informative. And I wanted to touch on, Dick had mentioned that how life does go on despite the pandemic here at Highland Green. And even in spite of the difficult times, some great things have happened here. One quick story is a number of residents pulled together at the outbreak of the virus to begin making masks, face coverings for frontline workers who were in need of those face masks. It turned into a fundraising campaign where the Highland Green residents were making face masks, and people were making contributions to Midcoast hunger prevention in lieu of payment for the face masks. The residents raised, I think, about $7,000 for Midcoast hunger prevention program. And it's just an example of kind of the spirit of volunteerism that exists at Highland Green. And a number of residents have told me, despite the pandemic, they feel very supportive and connected to the community and not isolated at all, which happens in a lot of folks. Talking a little bit about the residents and the website, all the activities here are resident driven. So they have established the different clubs and organizations. They maintain a Highland Green resident website where information is posted, different resources and information about get-togethers and other educational, cultural, volunteer opportunities. So I'd like to talk briefly a little bit about the lower maintenance living and what's really included at Highland Green as part of your monthly fee. Dick mentioned, the lawn care and landscaping is all taken care of for you. Snow removal, plowing, also shoveling each home's walkways, salting and sanding as necessary. Your trash removal and recycling is included. All of the exterior maintenance of your home, and that includes the siding, the roof shingles, windows, and we'll talk a little bit more about those items that are included. Smoke, fire, low temperature sensors are all part of every Highland Green residence. There's annual scheduled inspections performed on your security, fire, and sprinkler systems. Routine maintenance of the lawn sprinklers, and also included is property casualty liability insurance on the structure of the homes. Also, of course, the use of the community building and all of the amenities at Highland Green. So here's an example of, one of the backyards at Highland Green, and it shows a very nice retaining wall. We have one of the benefits of the lower maintenance living here is the peace of mind. So for folks who like to travel and maybe be away for a month or two in the winter, you know that your home is being looked after. If for some reason it gets too cold in the residence, the alarm will notify our staff 24/7 who would be dispatched to take a look at the situation. Every home also comes with a sprinkler system. The grounds crew here is led by Tim Goss. He's our Director of Ground Services. We have 8 full-time staff here, super hardworking. In the wintertime, they're out, shoveling as soon as the snow starts to fall. And in the other seasons, they just do a great job keeping the grounds looking very meticulously taken care of. And it's really a park-like setting in many areas. It's an example of a yard here at Highland Green. So we touch a little bit on the maintenance living and what's included. So the major things, of course, are like your windows, your exterior siding, your landscaping is taken care of for you, garage doors and driveways, and so when you're considering the fees, just please remember the value that is associated with having your home, taken care of really in perpetuity. There's never been a special assessment at Highland Green, and the reserve funds are set aside. So when it's time for repairs to take place on the structure of your home, that money is earmarked. Not everything is covered by the co-op or the HOA. There are things that are residents' responsibilities, and here's a list of things that are resident responsibilities as well as the co-op responsibilities. If anyone would like a breakdown of this, it's in our FAQ packet that has a lot of good information about Highland Green, the ownership structure, the fees, and what's included. So Dick did a great job talking about some of the activities and the clubs that exist here at Highland Green, and here's a laundry list. So everything from art group, we have a very active book club, and one of the key activities here for a lot of folks is being involved in the Cadence River Education Alliance, which Lisa Durrell is going to talk a little more about, as well as Habitat for Humanity, Embrace a Vet, Midcoast Hunger Prevention, Maine Maritime are other worthwhile organizations that a lot of folks are involved in at Highland Green. Here's a picture of our community center and a brown bag lunch taking place. There are block parties. Here's a picture of a paddle club and right on the Cadence River here at Highland Green. I mentioned the book club, hiking club. Here's our Off the Rockers band. And now we're lucky enough to have Lisa Durrell with us as a panelist. And Lisa's going to talk a little bit about the nature preserve, and also the programs that are available to people of all ages related to CREA.
Well, John mentioned the 235-acre preserve that was put in for in perpetuity, wonderful opportunity to enjoy forever the trails. People refer to it as CREA, but Attans River Nature. But people refer to that as CREA Alliance, which is truly what CREA is, and that's the educational arm of the preserve, what goes on at the preserve. And for Highland Green, it's a non-profit and so on from Highland Green. However, it is such a fabulous resource for all of us, and one of the main reasons, besides the community, that my partner and I, Highland Green. In terms of being a resource for all the residents, I'd say that falls in kind of three areas. One is the trails. There are 5 miles of trails, and their value for exercise and health and stress reduction and all those good things cannot be overestimated. Yesterday, we walked down to the river, as a matter of fact, and after the tremendous rains we've been having, the river is rushing like crazy, and it was just you felt like you're in the boonies of Vermont or something. It was fabulous. And somebody else has, Pat Allen here, a resident, has been posting pictures of the beaver that she's been watching in one of the pools at one end of the on one of the trails. So it's a fun place to go and walk and either just be or to take a book and read, or to just to bump into somebody along the way. And as John says, you don't feel as isolated as maybe some other parts of the country right now, because people are very respectful of the distance, but you have a nice conversation when you encounter them. And part of the hike, you can stop in on Sundays at least at the Ecology Center, which is the center for all of our school programming. And it has a series of local mounted animals, some of those, and also it has a great nature library. So that's the Ecology Center. A second piece of CREA that's a great perk for the residents are the programs that are actually put on by CREA itself. A lot of the core of CREA is the school programming that happens in the schools, which is a huge, huge gift to the community and to the teachers in the area. But that's for another day. But in terms of resources for our residents, CREA is Day, and very lucky that there was Zoom format. So we've had research program, a person from Bowdoin talking about the research being done on Kent Island, which is pretty fascinating. Program on vernal pools, of which there are many in the area. We're already scheduled with a Zoom program for a look at Monhegan and the ecology at Monhegan. That will be in September. So the Fourth Tuesday programs are available to anybody, and they are very well attended by Highland Green folks. Also, CREA provides on weekends weekend workshops, and these are incredibly varied. Last year we had things on lichens and mosses. We had a snowshoe walk. Lots and lots of people. Another a little bit out and met at the Ecology Center with an expert on moths at night, and that was quite a fun evening. So there. A wonderful resource, in a way that's a resource for Highland Green, is the opportunities for volunteerism. Many of us move here because we love being near nature and being outdoors, and this is a place where you can take your volunteering interests and put them outdoors. I just learned, in fact, Dick Thomas, whom you've just heard, is a part of the painting crew that's painting the Ecology Center at the moment. So some of the volunteering is painting and trail maintenance, presenting programs. Carol Evans presented a program on painting and drawing in nature. Tom Burge presented a program on lichens. Another volunteer opportunity is the Ecology Center itself. When it's open on Sundays, that's opened by Highland Green volunteers, and you greet hikers as they come by. Also, obviously, every organization, nonprofit, needs people on their committees. So I've been on the program committee and on the board, and it's a great group of people. All around, it's a great group of people, and I would strongly suggest you're taking a walk down there and looking into CREA when you're visiting Highland Green. Many of us would be very happy to take you for a walk down there and open the Ecology Center for you to look at when you visit. And the Ecology Center right now is closed, but that will reopen. The preserve remains open for residents right now, which is a real gift to all of us. I mentioned the school programs. They're not only elementary school programs, but I do want to mention the wonderful high school research programs that happen here. And the students come to the preserve, do research, and then part of one of the Fourth Tuesday presentations for the community is these high school students telling about their research, presenting their data. It's a fabulous growth activity for them. It's just wonderful. And of course, the summer camp. The summer camp affects the residents in two ways. One is grandchildren often come as campers. We've also had several residents have their grandchildren as CITs, staff people, young staff people at the camp. So there are many ways Highland Green is involved in CREA. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful resource. It's a place where we all can stay connected to nature and be healthier and just enjoy being outside again. So that's that.
Excellent. Thank you, Lisa. And thank you for everything that you do for CREA and for the Nature Preserve and the residents at Highland Green. We're going to talk a little bit, I guess, close to wrapping up a little bit about the lifestyle and activities at Highland Green. Of course, we have a welcome committee. Some of the different clubs include woodworking. There's a community garden. People do have quite elaborate gardens at their residences as well. We've got Crafty Ladies, and there's an annual craft fair that takes place at the community center every year. Just another nice little story about the Crafty Ladies who put together a quilt making campaign and donated 8 hand-made quilts to Midcoast Hospital. So that was a nice, generous thing that people did with their time. Here's an example of kind of a get-together. I think this is post-coronavirus. Where folks are just gathering on the porch and enjoying each other's company. Here's a picture of some residents at the community center. And this is a picture of the Ecology Center, which is the education outpost that Lisa mentioned, located right at the trailhead at the Cadance River Nature Preserve. I hope folks listening today get the message that there is a really strong sense of community at Highland Green, a lot of friendships, and it's a very supportive environment. This is Juliet and Dexter, and they were featured in the most recent spring newsletter. So if you want to learn a little bit about their situation and what brought them to Highland Green, and that newsletter is posted on our website. Also, Rich and Jean are featured in that, so you can learn a little bit about their background. And the integration with nature is really a key development principle of Highland Green. Were developed with smart growth principles in mind, and you can see, even though there are cluster housing, intimate neighborhoods here, you're often abutting open space, either the nature preserve or other woodlands. There are homes also located near the golf course, but we don't have anything on the golf course. You can see the 35-acre nature preserve in this photo, or the heath in this photo. Here is the CREA camps in action. Lots of activities to do year-round, snowshoeing, and also the golf course is groomed for cross-country trails. Here's a photo of the Ecology Center, which is built with all sustainable building materials and is off-grid. And this is folks cross-country skiing on the 4th hole of the Highland Green Golf Course. We talked a little bit about the homes abutting open space. So I want to talk briefly about the cooperative form of ownership at Highland Green and how that ownership is structured. There's 5 different HOAs or phases at Highland Green, and each phase has its own board chair and committees. Some of the committees include the Finance Committee, the Reserve Investment Committee, and there's a Reserve Analysis Committee. So at Highland Green, you are a shareholder, and instead of getting a deed as you would in a traditional fee simple real estate, you own stock, a share in your particular homeowners association. And one of the real benefits of co-op ownership, there's a number of them, but one of them is that you know that the community will always be maintained in a professional standard, and there are professional management services to implement the services as well as coordinate the different improvements or fixes that need to take place in the homes. I'm going to talk briefly about the financials. So here you can see a financial breakdown, the monthly fee for the 5 different phases. The Quarry Cottages will be its own new phase. That'll be phase 4. And those monthly fees will be commensurate with what you see in North 3. So we're looking about a little over $1,000. It's comprised of those 3 items you see there. There's the operations, there's the ground lease, and then there's the reserve. And those 3 make up your total monthly fee. Property taxes are not included in your monthly fee. Those are determined by the town of Topsom's assessor's office. So just to kind of sum up, cooperative ownership, what it's all about, it's really the planned, scheduled maintenance and repair of your home that is paid for through accumulated reserve funds. So you'll never have to pay to repair or replace any of the items that are covered. For example, we know about how often every home will need to be painted. So your home at Highland Green is painted roughly every 8 years. You choose from whatever color palette that we have at Highland Green. And the benefit is that, of course, the community is maintained in a professional manner at a very high level, ensuring that the home values will continue to appreciate. When it's time to sell, you receive appreciation and equity for whatever the market will bear. So the Highland Green Resident Handbook is a really great resource for folks that want a little more nitty-gritty about how things work at Highland Green. We communicate with our residents through a Highland Green Management Matters newsletter. It's actually collaborative between the residents and Highland Green Management, but lots of information about upcoming events and things that you should know. Just a quick cost of living example. Now, this is based on one of the homes in our custom neighborhood. It's about a 2,000 square foot home. Your property taxes are $8,000 or so. In this phase, the co-op fees are $9.93. That's your gas bill, your electric, water, sewer. So you're looking at a little over $2,000 for your monthly budget at Highland Green, and that's including your property taxes. So what do you do when it's time to resell your home? Well, you work with Highland Green Sales and Marketing Department. We will work with you. We'll provide you information about the different sales that have taken place at Highland Green. You establish the price for your home, and we do all the marketing and the showing and work with you all the way through closing. We do work with outside brokers. So if there's if you have a broker, or just when it's time to sell your home, know that we reach out, we do broker open houses, and we compensate brokers for bringing buyers to Highland Green. So quickly, just some of the rules and procedures. A lot of people ask about the pet policy, and pets are allowed at Highland Green. You can see we're a dog-friendly community. Dogs are not allowed on the nature preserve or the golf course. Beyond that, we just ask that people follow the leash laws and be respectful of their neighbors, which everyone is. Utilities are all underground. We have public water, public sewer. It's all natural gas here. That's our heating source at Highland Green. Trash and recycling is picked up every Thursday morning. Gardens and landscapes. We do encourage folks to personalize their grounds. If you add additional plantings that aren't what they consider base plantings, then it's your responsibility to maintain those. We do always encourage folks using native plants so we know that they'll thrive in this environment. There are rentals from time to time. They have to be approved by the Highland Green Management Company. That is something that is available on a limited basis, with approval. Alterations and additions, folks ask, well, can I add a screened-in porch to an existing home, or can I turn my screened-in porch to a sunroom? And the answer is yes, you can. There's an approval process that does involve the abutter signing off, as well as the Highland Green Management Company. But that's a very common thing that happens. People would like to, in some cases, add some space to their home, and with approval, that can be accomplished. So now we're going to get a little bit into the details about the Quarry Cottages, and Jacob Stevenson is going to take it over from here.
All right, thanks, John. So as John kind of mentioned, the first step with any product or any client is usually we'll sit down and discuss the community as a whole and make sure that the surroundings, the amenities, and the people are where you want to be. And then we kind of start to narrow it down and find the product that's going to work best for you. So if you were to think the Quarry Cottage was the route to go for you, you'll find the Quarry Cottage neighborhood nestled here between the 8th hole of the Scottish-style golf course, and then with a kind of a natural buffer on the other side between what will be Diamond Road and Red Pole. So you'll have a natural buffer on both sides, and it'll be a private, tranquil setting nestled into nature, kind of like the rest of our roads here, but with those natural waterways on either side. The land's protected, so you have a guaranteed buffer moving forward. Be nice, beautiful landscape around and some natural scenery. If we keep moving forward, there should be an overlay, and you can kind of see where the home sites will sit in the natural woodlands. As I said, on your left there, you'll see there's a natural wooded buffer, and on the right, a little bit further off screen, is the 8th hole of the golf course. So it'll be a very secluded road. It'll be an intimate community of just the cottage style homes, but should be beautifully landscaped when it's all said and done. If you look here, we have the pink denoted and blue denoted sites. There's 16 sites available. 7 daylight basements, which are the ones colored pink, and then 9 of our standard crawl space sites, which are the blue. So if a daylight or walkout basement's important to you, then we have 7 of those sites available. Moving forward, the base package for the cottages is what we think a very good entry level. There's 2 units, an A unit and a B unit. The A unit starts at 1,532 square feet, and the B unit slightly larger at 1,585 square feet. Both offer a loft or basement option and can be equipped with a single or 2-car garage. The loft adds 457 square feet for an A unit and 413 square feet for a B unit. The base package is a 2-bed, 2-bath house with beautiful natural light, a lot of large windows, high ceilings, and an open concept. They all enjoy a great room with a natural gas fireplace, usually set off the dining room. And the master bath includes a walk-in shower. The guest bath is a full standard bath, hardwoods and tile throughout, with granite and stainless in the kitchen. The homes, as you can see, this is a B model that we had down in Cumberland Crossing. Bright and airy feel with nice finishes, and we just expect that standard level of finish is what our clients expect. So you can see a beautiful 3-bay window in the master. The sunroom is a 4-season sunroom that lets in an abundance of natural light, can have a slider out to a paved patio, or some people are expanding that sunroom to allow larger interior space and even more natural light. And I think as we move forward, John is going to show you a Matterport of the A model. And that's going to be a little bit more visual, but it's a real representation of what this A model looks like on the inside. So take it away, John.
We have it open.
You know.
think
Oh, it's here. You do have it open.
Right there.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Hold on 1 second.
There we go.
Okay, thank you, Jacob. So we're just going to do a quick little 3D tour. This technology is called Matterport, and it really allows you to get an interesting perspective of the, this happens to be our model unit at Highland Green. This is what they call the dollhouse view. So you essentially can kind of pull the roof, the ceiling off of the unit, as well as the walls, and take a look at the floor plan. So this is one perspective here, and you can also actually go through the community, so to speak, and walk in. Here we are in the entryway. And this will allow you really to just kind of scroll around and take a look at all the rooms, how they're laid out. This is the sunroom. Of course, the great room with your gas fireplace. This is the A model. So this has more of an open concept versus a galley kitchen. And just a quick example of how you can really navigate through each room here. So this link is up on our website under the Quarry Cottage tab. And I'd encourage you to, if you want to see what this model looks like and you can't get here in person, I'd encourage you to visit the website and take a tour. So now stop share.
Yep, you do your share.
Oh, right.
Go back.
This is it.
Yeah, no, it's down.
This one.
Yep.
Okay.
And then,
I think it's it.
yeah.
So just to talk for a minute about the pricing here at the Quarry Cottage. As Jacob mentioned, we have two different models to choose from, an A and a B. The pricing is very similar for both. So this is the A model pricing with a one-car garage. It's $565. If you want to add another bay, you're looking at $595. There is an option to add a loft. So the loft with the two car is about $650, and I'm sorry, that's the two car in the basement is $650, and the two car garage with the loft is $672. So now we're going to turn it over to Dan White and JP, and they're going to talk a little bit about the design and building process here at Highland Green.
Good morning, everybody. Dan White again here from Hildreth and White. And let's see, I'll introduce you to our inside team on our side of the equation. I'm the owner of the company, founded in 1986. And Tim Follow is here, and he has been with us for 20 some years now. And he handles the houses, all the interior finish and coordinating input of all the selections you choose. And he's very good at that. This is my wife, Jen, and she's the back office operations manager. And JP, who came on board this year and is working as assistant project manager and really spearheading the design of the design efforts of the company. When we came to Highland Green about 10 years ago, and we were working with people, this was the type of design you might get a 2D black and white drawing. Today, this is what you get. And so JP has helped take us forward, and normally he handles it, but my computer's a little faster, so I'm going to drive the bus today for the 3D efforts. This is an A unit, and at the quarry, the houses are pre-designed, but still it's helpful for customers to be able to see what's going on inside. You know, maybe you have special pieces of furniture, or that you want to make sure it fits, or colors that you want to see how they look. And you can play around with some things, like, you know, maybe the window grills or something. So we can take you through the house, and any little custom tweaks, we can show you what's going on. And so this is what it looks like now, going inside a house in 3D. You know, get through here. This one has a sunroom. They all have sunrooms, I guess, coming off the side here. So you get a feel for how that would all look. And make sure, again, your furniture fits in it. Maybe you don't want pocket doors with French doors. You want to keep it all open, that type of thing. That could be done very easily. And then if, you know, the quarry, you really feel like you want to move beyond and do your own design thing, there are other lots outside of the quarry where you can really go and design your home from scratch. And if that's the case, then we can do that too. And we'll start with, again, 2D plans, but looking a little better. And one benefit of this whole COVID thing is that the whole Zoom process has made it so much easier for customers to get together and design a house. It used to be that people would have to maybe buy a plane ticket or book hotel rooms, spend hundreds of dollars, and advance, you know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month of planning ahead. Now they just switch on their computer in their kitchen, grab a cup of coffee, and we can design your house. It's sped up the whole process and made it so much easier for everyone. So we'll do a Zoom meeting and meet with the clients, and you know, this is a house recently recently worked on with a customer. You can see what it looks like in here. This is basically all inputs from the customer. They designed the kitchen, the whole sunroom off here, where to put the fireplace, custom archway going from the kitchen to the living room, laid out the kitchen plan. So it really helped them bring their vision to life. And it's very easy. As we're talking, we can design right in front of you. If we want to pull a wall across, it's this easy right here. And you can see now there should be, yep, there goes the wall all the way across. And then maybe you want to put a door in it. You can just put a door back in. And that's how easy and fast now it is to design. So together, it's something that can happen very quickly. We had one customer come in. They came in on St. Patrick's Day this year in the middle of the virus, kick it in. 4 weeks later, they had the house all designed, under contract, and they're getting ready to build. So some customers it takes 2 years, some customers it takes 2 months. It's kind of at your own pace. And with that, I'll hand it off to Sandra.
All right, thank you, Dan, for that demonstration. I'm Sandra, and my role is to help coordinate or link all the design aspects involved in building new homes here at Highland Green. And I must say it's exciting to walk alongside of customers throughout the whole process, from the first decision you make, whether it's to go with cottage A or B or add a loft, to the day you move in and your landscape is complete. And there I am with Dick and Ann when they were building their home. So as far as the construction team, there's a lot of people involved. I do overlap with Dan and JP as they guide you through the plans. And as he said, having the ability to do it online and in virtual time has been very, very helpful. From there, I will connect customers to vendors, assist customers with making design and finish selections, and I'll also track all those decisions, as well as the cost of each decision that you make, and if there are changes, I'll prepare change orders and allowance summaries, so you know where you are at each stage of the game. As far as selections and options, the Quarry Cottages are perfect for those who want to select finishes like cabinets and countertops, flooring, but really don't want to get into designing a full custom home. We're talking about insulation and grill patterns. However, the Quarry Cottages still have plenty of decisions to be made, but we've tried to simplify that by sort of minimizing the number of options that there are, but there still are plenty. We also have allowances for each item that you'll be selecting, such as appliances, cabinets and countertops, flooring, lights, plumbing fixtures. With the help of our vendor partners, I've selected some product lines that will fit into those allowances for you to select from. However, if you choose to go outside those options and go beyond the allowances because there's something you found you really love, that's perfectly fine. We just agree to pay the difference, and that's absolutely fine. We're just trying to give you a starting point. Our vendor partners that we have, you just saw a slide on that. We have some established vendors that we work with. There we go. Thanks. That we work with, and we've chosen these vendors because they have outstanding customer service, quality products, value, and reliability with our builder and our customers. And we can feel really good about recommending them to you and introducing you to the people there that we work with. One example of one of the decisions you'll have to make is with the fireplaces. All of the Quarry Cottages include a gas fireplace, a surround, and a mantle. So we've got 7 mantle styles for you to select from and 27 stones to choose from, including granite, marble, slate, limestone. And we have some examples to show you that you can really design it to your own taste. Some are very traditional and some are a little bit more modern. As far as bathrooms, vanities, we have plenty to choose from, and countertops. Our base package includes granite countertops. You can design your own as well with our vendor. There on the left, you see someone has a, instead of a 2 vanity countertop, someone wanted a sort of makeup area. So that was designed for them. So lots of options for you. As far as showers and tubs, you can certainly upgrade to a tile shower or surround, and plenty of tiles to choose from. These slides show how we pull it all together. It is fun to have so many options to choose from, and sometimes it's not always easy to see how you can visualize it all together. But here what we do is we take samples of everything, your flooring, your countertop, your cabinets, and we pull it all together. Sometimes it's even the interior paint colors, and we do this too. So we pull it all together so that you can be sure that, yes, it's all going to work. And that's where our vendor partners also work together, because we share samples. You can see on this right side here, that's a large slab of granite. And we were bringing flooring, tiles, and bathroom tiles to make sure that it was going to go with the big piece of granite. We'll go to the fabricator and see those slabs just to be sure that you really love the big size of the granite or the stone that you choose. So the design team is here to help you throughout the process. And if you have any questions on site or with their design vendors, we're here to help. And I can honestly say it's a pleasure to be part of building someone's home and sharing that experience with our customers and with our team to see it through to completion and to see people move in. So it's wonderful to see the whole process in action. That wraps it up with me. I think I'm going to pass it over to Jacob for more housing options.
All right, thanks, Sandra. So I'm just going to touch briefly on custom homes to start. The big difference between the custom home and the Quarry Cottage is that the Quarry Cottage is on a fixed footprint. So if you come to us and you're looking for something along the lines of 2,000, 2,200 square feet, but you want it all on one floor, or maybe you want to go much bigger than that, or you just want to move in the very near future, the custom home neighborhood might be the place for you. We have 6 sites left available in phase 3 as we're wrapping that up. That's going to be one available left in the rabbit ears, which you see in this picture is tucked away in the nature preserve, completely surrounded by nature and a very secluded neighborhood, the only one of its kind in Highland Green. And if you're interested in a basement site, we have one walkout and one daylight basement site left further up into the community. These homes are great for anybody who really wants to sit down and start from a blank sheet or a house plan that they've seen in the community. As Dan mentioned, with technology now and how we've been forced to use Zoom, it really is amazing the different steps you can take in the process, and how far ahead of the curve we can get, just at least with planning, before you even have to come on site with current circumstances. As we flip through here, you'll see kind of the HG DNA on the exterior, but that the interiors of the home are truly customizable, whether you want to go more classic and contemporary or you want to go more modern. A lot of the homes are styled individualistically, and for example, here's Dave and Andy's kitchen, which is a full Thermador kitchen. All appliances are touchless. Beautiful cabinetry work is all cherry with hardwoods throughout, wonderful granite. It's a truly beautiful cook's kitchen. And if that's a big part of your life and you want to maybe center the home around your kitchen, we can completely do that. A more formal dining room in this home and large master suites with beautiful bathrooms, double vanities, single vanity for those who prefer, tile surrounds, color choice, 3-season, 4-season sunrooms, screened-in porches, whatever you want, we can build within reason. So it's a wonderful option if you really want to start with a blank page or how you live. If you're looking for a quicker move, or you just don't want to take on the idea of building a new home, we have a wonderful selection of available now homes. Right now we have 13 listed on the market. 3 will be under contract as of today, and that puts us right around 10 available. The website is consistently updated, and we do see about an average of 10 homes on the market at a time, which leaves us at about a 5% attrition rate, which is half of that in the nationwide average of 10%. So it is an option for those who want to move quicker, or like I said, just don't want the hassle of building in addition to the thought of a move. So wonderful option, and they're well-built homes. You can refinish them if you so choose, or you can move in as they are. And just to talk about our last housing option, which is the Enclave, I'm going to pass it back to John.
Excellent. Thank you, Jacob. So we're getting close to wrapping up here, but I did want to talk about one of our newest neighborhoods. And right now we're in the pre-sale phase of the Enclave, which is apartment-style living. These units are bundled with a number of supportive services that are included in your monthly fee. So the 4 key services that are included with the Enclave are transportation, housekeeping, there's a wellness program, and there's optional dining. So a little bit about the apartments themselves. They're obviously all single floor living. They're 4-story buildings, and there's 4 units on each floor. They're all corner units, open concept with universal design for easy living, and basically the similar amenities and services that you receive at any Highland Green home, with a little special extra related to 24/7 emergency call service, and of course the wellness program that will be here right on site. So here is where the Enclave will be located. It's near the 2nd hole of the Highland Green golf course. Here's another vantage point. There's a number of different floor plans that are available. We have 1 bedroom with den. We have 2 bedroom, 2 bath. They range roughly from 1,300 square feet to about 1,500 square feet. And these are renderings of what the final product will look like. Nicely finished, open concept, and designed to be, very low maintenance. This image is of the community room, which will serve as both a dining area as well as an area for different activities and get-togethers at the Enclave. So as we wrap up, I just want to do kind of a quick overview of the master plan. Right now, as Jacob mentioned, we have the 5 or 6 sites left in phase 3 at the top of the circle, so to speak. Everything you see here in the light green is part of the nature preserve, Cadence River Nature Preserve. The Quarry Cottage areas are in phase 4 that you see here in the yellow orange. The blue is the phase 5, which is the Enclave apartment buildings. And right now we do have some potential plans for duplexes or triplexes in phase 5. The phase 6 that you see those are commercially zoned lots. So we are looking for appropriate partners for those lots. It would be something like potentially a boutique hotel, maybe another restaurant, coffee shop. It won't potentially a bank. It will not be a gas station or fast food restaurant. We've been approached by many people, and we're being very selective about how we fill those spots. So I provided a little overview about the future plans. And before we wrap up, Lori's going to take over for a few minutes and give us a quick overview of the website. We have a new website, and there's lots of interactive content, so she's going to give us a quick overview of that.
Thanks, John. I'm going to share my screen with you all here. We just want to take a brief moment here at the end and walk you through our new and improved website. I'm going to just show you some of the new interactive features that we have on here. As you go through our website, this top bar will follow you everywhere, so you can click on some of our products that are available, all of which we talked about today. And all of our product pages have information on the product. They have photos. They also have videos, and then there are downloadable floor plans for each. You click on here, you can see them a bit larger, which is lovely, and print if needed. And we just added, since we're talking about Quarry Cottages, we just added a aerial site tour of the Quarry Cottage sites. And you can click on that and just kind of see it from some different views. It also points out basement options as well as crawl space options that Jacob mentioned. So you can take a peek at that. You can also go up here and take the 360 tour that John also showed you, but you can just pan through it on your own. If you check out our lifestyle, you can see a lot of the activities and clubs here at Highland Green. Download our resident activity guide, which has some more detail on all of the resident-driven activities here at Highland Green. You can learn about our golf course, check out some of our lifestyle newsletters, and flip through the latest issue, as well as past issues. Then moving along under About, there's some more information on cooperative ownership, location. There's an interactive map here that you can get a feel for what exists here close to Highland Green and find out a little bit more about each attraction or area of interest. And then lastly, we have a whole section dedicated to land and conservation, which is really important to Highland Green. You can click through and learn a little bit more. There's a lot of information on CREA. It'll also take you to their website. And then you can also download the trail map here. And as always, if you have any more questions, you can always click on request more information and fill this out, and we will receive an email, and then we'll reach out to you shortly. But we just want to encourage people to take a look at our website because there is a lot of information on there and a lot of interactive media that should give you a lot of the information you're looking for. And that's it. John, you can take it away.
Great. Thank you, Lori. So we're just about to wrap up, and of course we've had a lot of questions from folks from outside of Maine and Vermont and New Hampshire about coming to Maine and what are the guidelines. And it hasn't been crystal clear, but as of June 26th, anyone that's here in Maine looking for real estate or housing is essentially considered an essential worker. And for example, at the Harrisseekit Inn, we have a relationship with them where our customers from out of state are welcome to come and stay at their accommodations. You actually get a 15% discount, and they will read you a script that where you acknowledge the guidelines set forth by the state of Maine. The whole 14-day quarantine period is left unaddressed. So I do think there'll be more information in the coming days about out-of-state visitors to Maine. But if you want to come to Highland Green, just please call us. We'll help you through the process. And we'd love to see you here in person and show you our wonderful community. So I want to thank the residents who participated today, and of course our staff and everyone who's joined us. And we look forward to seeing you in the future. Thank you very much.